Hello guys, welcome back once again to Pig Farming Academy. In today's video I'm going to be talking about something totally different. When I started my pig farming business quite early after my work examination, that was when I started. A lot of people told me so many different things. They told me a lot of things to discourage me. A lot of things that now I see that they were lies. So in today's video I'm going to be uncovering so many lies that people tell beginners in the pig farming world. I'm going to be uncovering all these myths, so pay attention. I will start with 5. But before I go ahead with that, I would like to let you know that you need to subscribe to this amazing channel and equally use the link that I will drop in the description box of this video to get a copy of the Pig Farmer's Journey. This book contains how I got to start pig farming business after my work examinations. I narrated the story, and then it contains the strategies that I employed to fight the challenges I faced in the pig farming business, both in the breeding sector, the feeding sector, how I managed to reduce the cost of my animals by deriving a way to produce proteins. So get a copy of this book using the link I'll drop in the description box of this video. Implement the principles, the law that I taught in that book. It's more like teaching you pig farming from the eyes of someone that has done it, not just a random technical book that will tell you to buy protein, buy this. No, it's teaching you something from someone that owns the farm and is doing it for a very long time now. So get a copy, read, implement the strategy. Okay, so guys, let me go ahead to uncover these lies that people told me when I was about to start my pig farming business. So if a young pig farmer out there, or even a beginner out there, I'm going to tell you that this video is for you, because I'm going to explain some of these lies to you guys. So pay attention, guys. So when it comes to this pig farming business, one of the first lies that people told me when I was starting out is that pig farming is a quick money stuff. It's a quick money business. You as a young pig farmer, as a beginner pig farmer, remove that thing from you, remove that mindset from your mind. Because pig farming is something that compounds. You need to understand that there are health management costs, there are feed costs, labor costs, all these things. So it's something that you compound with time. It's not something that you go into with the mindset of, oh, I'll get rich tomorrow. Get my point? So people will tell you that a lot, yes, because a lot of pig farmers make good money and all of that. But you as a young pig farmer, as a beginner pig farmer, you need to understand that your focus should be more on growth. Considering the fact that you are not starting with the kind of capital that they are starting with. If you have a huge capital, then you can now go for large scale production. But you that is focused on starting on a small scale production, you shouldn't see pig farming from the aspect of quick money. No, you should see it as a compounding system of growth. Understanding that, okay, you start out with three insides, for instance. The farrow, yes, you sell off some as piglets, you keep raising the others. That's how you grow. Before you know it, you have expanded your farm into a certain capacity. So you as a young pig farmer, please pay deaf ears to people telling you that pig farming is quick money. Because that's a lie, okay? You need to understand that certain things should be put into place. And you as a young pig farmer, you still need to arrange those things before then you can now start thinking from that aspect. So that was the first lie that people told me during those days when I started as a young pig farmer. They were telling me, oh, this is quick money, do this, do that, a lot of things that I heard. This was the first one that people told me. But still, I understood that's not how it worked. That you need to understand that there are feeding costs, there are health management costs, there are so many costs in the line that should be considered before you now assume that it's a quick money business. So guys, let me go back to the second myth that people say that is still shocking. You see this second myth that people say is something that each time I remember I will begin to laugh. You know why? As funny as it sounds, so many people still believe that this is how it should be done. They believe that pigs eat anything, like anything you bring that pigs will eat and consume. Want you to understand that the fact that the pig consumes that doesn't necessarily mean that it meets its nutritional requirements. For you to raise a healthy animal, you need to understand that nutritional requirements of your animal should be your priority. It's not just because, oh, you have this, let me just give it this. Does it contain the energy source? Does it contain the proteinous source? Does it contain the vitamins, the fat and oil, the minerals? These are things that you need to put into place. That is why I do all these things whenever I want to formulate my animal feed. I ask myself, oh, the energy is there, yes. The protein is there, yes. The fat and oil, the vitamins, the minerals, all these things. Once you understand this concept, you can be able to understand that nutritional requirements is what should be your priority. So pay deaf ears when people tell you that pigs eat anything. Once you want to raise healthy pigs, if that is your priority, you want to raise healthy pigs, you need to understand that you need to consider the energy sources. You can go for cassava, maize, and all those things, depending on your location. The one you can easily find in large quantity. I normally go for cassava and maize. That's the one I make use of as my energy source. Then you can now go for a protein source. You can make use of bambara nut chaff, known as otuoba in Nigeria, and also soybeans, blood meal, and lots of them that you can make use of as a protein source. Then I share the strategy that enabled me, because proteinous sources is quite expensive when it comes to the pig farming world. So there is one thing that's helped me to reduce the cost of feeding these animals with protein. I raise maggots from their droppings, and these maggots I process it by washing it with salt and water. I dry it and then I heat it up with heat in order to serve them and equally give my fish because I both have a fish farm. So when I do this, I'm able to reduce the cost of feeding them with protein, thereby maximizing my profit. This maggot is quite proteinous for them. Also, I equally then consider the fat and oil source by using palm kernel water and all those things. Once you produce oil, the palm kernel water is good for the fat and oil. Then you can now consider other vitamins, minerals by getting fruits like pawpaw, bush mango, a lot of vitamins depending on your location. So once you begin to see pig farming feeding formulation from this aspect, this thing I mentioned is for someone that formulates their own food. Because I normally tell my followers, try and formulate your own feed than for you to rely on industrial feed, because it's going to chop into your profit. I'm telling you the truth. Try to formulate your own feed. It's going to save you a lot of cost. So stop seeing pigs as something that eats anything that you can think of. No. Especially these delicate stages of the in-house, the gestation period, the piglets, all those things. Unless you are on a maintenance, unless the pig is on a maintenance ration, because we have the production ration, we have the maintenance ration. So if the pig is on the maintenance ration, that's when they'll be like, oh, like I'm just giving you this food to just stay alive and just remain the same. But if your pig like is on the gestation period, where you know it's a production ration that you need to give to it, it's still in its piglet stage, the weaning stage, the grower stage, is a production ration. You understand? That's the concept. So you need to understand that at that stage, it's a critical stage. You need to do the right thing. You need to feed them properly. Not just in quantity, but in quality of the meal, if it contains the nutritional requirements that they desire, that they deserve. These are the things you need to consider. So pay deaf ears when people tell you, just give this pig anything, because that's what they say a lot in these local farms. Just give them anything, they'll eat and they'll be okay. No. They might eat and just survive for the moment, but over the time they will be machating. And then that's not good for you as a pig farmer, because the purpose of pig farming is for your pigs to grow healthily, then you sell off and make profit. So that was the second myth. That was the second lie that they told me. No, I don't know if it is to be like, okay, they'll just start it up that the feeding factor that they eat anything that you can get, that you can lay your hands on. So I gave you a bonus tip by sharing with you a secret about how I raised maggots to reduce the cost of protein. So let's go over to the third myth, okay? Please, before I go over to this third myth, I would like you to pay attention, because this is something that most pig farmers do. I don't know if they do it as a result of negligence or ignorance, I don't know. But when it comes to this myth, one of the lies they told me is that pigs not like they are strong animals, that they do not need the health routine, the drug routine. It's not necessary. Like they told me a lot of things. I was like, are you serious? At some point, at my beginning phase, I used to believe them, but with my knowledge of animal husbandry and experience in some other people's farm, I knew that they needed drug routine. So the drug routines like vaccination, deworming, the iron injection, vitamins, mention them. These are necessary. It's a necessity. It's not something that you do just because you want to do it. No. As long as your focus is to succeed in the pig farming world, to scare away diseases, to build their immunity for fast growth, for good reproduction, good litter sizes, all these things, you need to make sure that you have a proper health routine. If you don't have a proper health routine as a beginner pig farmer, you have already set yourself up for failure. So pay deaf ears. As a matter of fact, if you are a beginner pig farmer, I'm going to give you one advice. Get the pig farmer's journey. Necessarily because it guides you as a beginner. It shows the step as to how I started my own pig farm. How everything I did rightly, everything, the drug strategies, the breeding aspect, the housing aspect, the feeding aspect, everything. It only shares the details of all the feeding components I make use of. So get this journey, the pig farmer's journey. It's going to help you a lot. I'll drop the link of this book in the description box of this video. Get it and read, so that you avoid making mistakes that would depreciate your farm. So understanding this aspect of drugs is very important as a pig farmer. Never you say that pigs are strong animals, that they don't need drugs. No, there are certain drugs that you give at different stages of their lives. And once you get this drug aspect rightly, I'm going to assure you that you have done everything okay, like you have set them up for growth. I used to tell people that the way you manage your pigs from the piglet stage will determine how good they will do from the grower stage. If you are so diligent in this drug aspect, you are extract the deworming, the vitamins, the antibiotics, everything, the vaccination programs. If you are so diligent, I talked about vaccines in one of the videos. If you are so diligent to these drugs in their early stage, you will realize that you have given them the base, the foundation upon which they will use to do well. That's why some people will come to my farm and be like, oh, these pigs are doing well, they are doing well, what are you doing special? Because I normally tell people this: prevention is better than cure. Read this book, learn the details of all the feeding factors, all the drug factors, all the techniques that you need to make use of. Okay, so that is the third lie that they told me about, that pigs are strong animals, they don't need drugs. Anybody that tells you that, please do not pay attention to them. Okay, I'll be dropping my number 08058811642. So in case you want to ask any questions in any aspect of pig farming world, just ask, message me, send me a message, drop your comments. I'm going to reply. Okay, let's go back to the fourth myth, right? So there is this fourth myth that they normally say that makes me laugh sometimes, where they say that the number of pigs that you have would determine the profit and everything. But you as a beginner, I'm going to let you know that you should not pay attention to this kind of mindset, because I always say this in each of my videos, that you raising 50 pigs effectively is way better than you having 150 pigs that you don't manage effectively. So you as a beginner pig farmer, you should be more focused on your capacity. If the capacity of your pen is 50, please do that and raise them effectively. I've been to so many farms where their capacity is 100, but they manage to stack in 200 pigs there. There are so many disadvantages that comes with you stacking up your pigs out of proportion. One, it can lead to incubation of diseases that can affect these pigs' health. One, it can lead to make them not to grow fast as they should. So you as a beginner pig farmer, make sure that the capacity of your pen is what you maintain, and not you trying to become rich overnight by bringing more than you can actually contain. This is one of the things that I normally emphasize on the ears of every pig farmer that I see. Because most pig farmers think that, oh, let me bring more piglets, That's not how it works. You raising 50 piglets effectively is way better than you having 1,000 piglets that you are not managing well. Because when disease comes in, they will start depreciating, they will start going down. The market value of profit will be eaten into loss. No. But when you raise these 50 pigs that are your capacity, or I don't know what your capacity could be, it's based on your capacity. But once you raise the capacity that you can be able to contain, effectively, maintaining the drug routine, the hygiene factors, all these factors, maintaining them effectively, you begin to understand that pig farming is peaceful. So begin to have that mindset. Begin to see pig farming in that mindset, not you trying to carry what you cannot contain in your farm. I've seen so many pig farmers do that and they regretted it. Okay, so you as a beginner pig farmer, listen to me. I'm here to guide you on the right path. Do not make that mistake. Know your capacity. So let me quickly go over to the fifth myth that I always hear, which is that anyone can succeed in pig farming without learning. Let me tell you something. Knowledge is what makes you a successful pig farmer. When I started my pig farming business, before I started, I had to go to a farm to learn physically, to understand what the person was doing. I spent months, I was learning as young as I was. I learned a lot before I moved out to establish my own farm. So you being here watching this video, taking this guidance, it shows that you are that you want to learn, and that's very important. That's one of the characteristics of a successful pig farmer. So make sure you message me through WhatsApp if you have any questions. 080-588-11642, and you equally get my book, The Pig Farmer's Journey, to have a physical guide of the detailed steps, the step-by-step process, and the strategies I employ to fight so many challenges I faced in my farm. I'll drop the link to this book in the description box of this video. Grab a copy and read. Okay, you can message me through WhatsApp through the number I dropped and ask your questions regarding what you read in the book, and if you have any question in that aspect. Okay, so guys, that is all for today's video. I'm sure I've been able to uncover this myth around the pig farming world. Make sure you practice the principles I shared in this video. God bless you very much, and remember to subscribe. Thank you so much.